Let me tell you about the time I decided to make fresh pizza from scratch. I mean, who doesn't love pizza, right? It's the ultimate comfort food. But here's the thing, store-bought pizzas or even the ones from restaurants are often loaded with sodium and who knows what preservatives or processed ingredients. That didn't sit well with me, so I thought, why not make my own? That way I could control what goes into it and make it healthier. Pizza is actually pretty simple when you break it down. It's just dough and toppings. The key is getting the dough right, and honestly, it's not as intimidating as it might seem. It's just a few basic ingredients: flour, water, yeast, olive oil, and a little sugar and salt. For my version, I swapped out regular salt for a sodium-free alternative made from potassium. You can find it on Amazon or at most grocery stores, and it's a game changer if you're watching your sodium. I started by activating the yeast, which is always a fun step. It's like watching science happen in your kitchen. I took a cup of warm water, not too hot, just warm to touch, added a teaspoon of sugar and stirred it with a packet of yeast. Then I let it sit for about 5 minutes. If you're doing this right, you'll see bubbles forming on the surface. That's the yeast waking up and getting to work. Next, I added 3 cups of flour, half a cup of olive oil, and a teaspoon of my salt alternative into the mix. Then it was time to get my hands messy. I mixed and kneaded the dough for a couple of minutes until it came together in a smooth ball. Pro tip: kneading is oddly therapeutic, so don't rush it. Once it felt nice and elastic, I placed the dough into a lightly greased bowl, covered it, and let it rest for about an hour. During that time, the magic happened. It rose and doubled in size. When the dough was ready, I preheated my oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I rolled the dough out into a 12-inch round. It doesn't have to be perfect. Homemade pizza is supposed to have character. And then I placed it on a baking sheet and got to work on the fun part, toppings. For the base, I used my homemade tomato sauce, which was simple but packed with flavor. Then I layered on some sliced onions, mushrooms, and olives. Finally, I added slices of low-sodium mozzarella. You can of course customize this with your favorite toppings, whatever makes your taste buds happy. I popped the pizza into the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. The smell while it baked? Absolutely mouth-watering. When it came out, the crust was golden brown, the cheese was perfectly melted, and I couldn't wait to dig in. And the best part, I got to enjoy pizza guilt-free, knowing it was low sodium, free of preservatives, and made with high-quality natural ingredients. It tasted even better because I made it myself. If you've never tried making pizza from scratch, I highly recommend it. It's not just about the food, it's the whole process. From kneading the dough to smelling it bake in the oven. Plus, it's a reminder that homemade really does taste better. Enjoy!